Hello, everybody, and welcome here for the AWS Cup Series here at Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum. Here once again for the AWC Pro Series. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado, and alongside and with me for the first time, graphic designer, commentator, and analyst for the night race, Andres Virus, all the way from Chile. Andres, how's your night going tonight? Wait on Andres to figure out his microphone connection, but obviously here for Bristol Motor Speedway, as we have about 7.5 minutes left in practice right now. Vincent Isabella, your quickest with a 14.8 lap time. Cameron Rich at number 85. Your P2 in practice with a 14.86 with Brett Bennett, that number 47 machine. There's some things to look into going into the season. Obviously, we saw it at Daytona. We saw that Homestead. Some of these All-Star drivers have come out here and kind of swept the season so far. Obviously, we saw Derek Lemke come in there and win a photo finish at Daytona. And last week, we also saw another All-Star driver go out there and take away a win from some of these guys with Thomas Capuano winning that kind of tire strategy race at Homestead. So now it's time for maybe some of these other drivers that aren't these all-star drivers who, race in real life and stuff to come out here and potentially come and take a win away. Obviously, we were looking at Vincent and Isabella and that number 54 Twix machine. You see the 17 right here of Cameron Rich, but first guy who is on track that's, quick, Brett Bennett. As you see him make some contact with the 13. Ryan Ronbaum, I believe is how you say that. But a lot to look forward to here at Bristol. Obviously, one of the more unique short tracks on the schedule. Really, anywhere you go, this is kind of the only high banked, high pace short track where you can really run around and find pace kind of wherever you want it. And it's very interesting to see because obviously you see the 47 out there running the top, but you see that 34 behind ripping the wall. That's Adam Tao. He's going up there and trying to rip the wall up there. So it's always interesting to see, what drivers like to do, how they save tires. Because I've seen several drivers, go out there and rip the wall and save tires better than people who run the bottom just because they're overdriving in center or something like that. Versus the guy on top who's really kind of, I would say, babying the car around. So it's very interesting to always see who can come out here and have the best tire life. If we can get a green flag run. And that's something, another big talking point to talk about is, are we going to get a green flag run? Obviously, these short tracks, Bristol and Martinsville especially, are kind of known to be a little chaotic and, really hard to stay green just because of, look at this, exactly what we're seeing with Kynan Jones here. You can get loose off the corner, kind of spin it down the track, and look, now he's sitting in the middle of the track, nowhere to go. Obviously, you see him tow. But, Martinsville and Bristol are some of the tracks that you have to expect every driver to be on their A game for, the whole race, and that's really hard to do. With just under 3 minutes left of practice, we will take a look at your track facts presented by Delta Eagle Designs, the Bristol Speedway. Just over half a mile in length. With obviously we see this high banking in the corners with about 24 to 28. Obviously we do have that progressive banking. The higher you get up on the track, the more banking you're going to get. And obviously 8 degrees on the straights, not really going to do a lot there. But a huge shout out to Delta Eagle Designs for, coming on board and being a part of the HVTV family. If you're interested in any graphical design work, whether it's for paint schemes or maybe for something broadcasting wise, or maybe for a league or something, we do have his Twitter link down below with Delta Eagle Racing / Designs. I'd definitely go check him out.
You do have to check him out.
There we have him. Again, welcoming Andreas Veritz to the broadcast booth for the first time. The minute 40. What are you seeing here through these practice laps, Andreas?
Thank you, Christian. Well, hello everybody. I'm Andres Varas. Bristol, short track, the first short track in the schedule for the Adrenaline World Cup Championship. This is a very different monster. Some people will say the monsters are gonna be the Daytona Talladega. Now, this is a different monster. This is a monster that you have to not only fight as a race car driver, but also you have to fight with the other race car drivers. You're gonna see a lot of dogfighting around the field, from the first positions all the way to the last. You're gonna see temper flaring. You're gonna see fights. You're gonna see everything around this. Pretty much a short track, 1 mile short track. We're gonna have 150 laps. We're gonna see the leaders. Hopefully not so many cautions, and yeah, possibly a good long run where we're gonna see the leader. Some guys trying to save their tires on the bottom lane, but as far as we see, the first guy that is gonna take that top lane and just being aggressive, that's the guy that is gonna try to take that lead and take that win. But if you go ahead and be aggressive on the first laps, you're gonna pretty much see a lot of guys touching that wall, wrecking. So yeah, it's gonna be a exciting race.
Definitely agree. Bristol, one of the more exciting tracks. And when we do get green flag runs, the racing gets pretty racy, and you can really put yourself in some really good positions to have a good battle. But with practice ending, Vincent Isabella, Brett Bennett, and Cameron Rich going to be your fastest on track. And while we see
Yes, we have so many good drivers trying taking those fast laps. We'll see how they're gonna do it on the qualify over here. For sure, for qualify, you will need to get that top lane working. If not, if you touch that wall, if you spin out, well, there's gonna be pretty much coming from the back.
on board with Jake Scar. Bro, and so we're going to see right here how easy it is to get a little dicey and out of control. You saw him trying to run the top, tried to get a good run to the line, and you saw him spin that thing out. I think he didn't start his time lap yet, which is good.
No.
So actually,
We
I
have
think
so far Bryson Bird taking the top spot.
looks like that was Jake's first recorded lap. We'll see what he can do here. Lap 2. Give him 15.14. That's good enough for P9. We mentioned Bryson Bird taking the pole with a 14.87. See who else we can find. Joel Farlow. And then number 24. Out lap. First completed lap is a 15.1. Like he might have hit the wall there on that last lap. Coming into here, we'll see what we can do here.
Hit the wall again.
Into the wall,
You
so
might have another one.
I'm slowing
No,
that car down.
he didn't get it.
John Brassard in this number 55 coming out. See both laps for this driver in the number 55 Chevy machine. Coming to the line. Give that a 15.25 for his first lap. Good enough for P15. Let's see if he can improve on this time. Like he's in the green right now.
Let's try to use a lot at the bottom. That's a very good lap.
Does not improve on that time. So 15.245 for John Brassard. Ty McIntosh in the 45. He's looked pretty quick throughout the season. Pretty aggressive at Daytona. Unfortunately got caught up in something. Did not like what he saw going to the line. Gonna park it. Try again. Something really cool that you could do in the sim, right? And I guess technically you can do it
Yes.
in real life. I mean, we've seen Joey Logano and Kyle Busch do that. Well, as long as you don't go to the line, you can actually put that thing in reverse and restart the lap. As long as you haven't gotten to the line to start it. If you don't like it, kind of just like in the sim, you can kind of restart. But coming to the line for Ty, and start his first lap. Gonna run the top in 1 and 2. Gonna try to arc it down just a
good
smidge.
corner. Oh, he hit that wall right there.
Out of 3 and 4. See if he'll give
He's
it
gonna
to
do
him.
it again.
That was a 15.236, but we saw him slap the wall right there. Out of 4. What did we get here? 15.098. The P12
He's
lap.
gonna take the 12.
Brandon Jones out on track. Ooh, super
Oh, a
sideways
little
out
bit
of 4.
loose. You got it. You got it.
Out of 4. Heading right now, P9.
Good lap.
It will keep him in P9 though.
Oh, he lost it.
Improves on that time, but stay back at that P9 with a 15.276. Be looking. Mincer on track on that number 8 machine. Starting his first lap. Out of 3 and 4, and no time.
No time. That's the other thing of the sim. You gotta do it in time. If not, you're not gonna be able to get a good position and pretty much coming from the back, which is pretty much a big penalty for these guys. So, yeah, some of these guys that possibly are gonna be fast on the race, they're not gonna be coming from the front, and gonna have to fight all the way from the back, and you're gonna put yourself in a position that pretty much is gonna put you nearby some crashes, some people that are gonna be slower than you. So you're gonna be very patient, and you know, Bristol, patience is not very a good word to speak about.
Yeah, I agree. Waiting on some of these drivers to get into their race machines. Obviously, these drivers have a lot of tools in the shed, whether it's brake bias, whether it's, steering ratio and all kinds of stuff to, that they can change from qualifying to race just to get prepared. Or maybe getting a glass of water, getting ready for, 150 laps here at Bristol. The last great Coliseum. It's going to be, a rough one. Obviously, 150 laps, like, not that long, but especially for Bristol, it's a very high, demanding, a very physical track, especially in these Xfinity machines. So it's waiting on some of these drivers to get in, but we will, once we see Vincent grabbing that car, we will start your starting lineup. Presented by High Velocity TV. And get some of your prerequisites out of the way before we start this race. go ahead and start it without race pole sitter. But you see the pole sitter Vincent and Sabella on your screen with Cameron Rich going to round out row 1. Row 2 is going to be Bryson Bird with Noah Brown in that number 65 machine. Santiago Aguirre with Brett Bennett going to take that 5th and 6th position. Jamie Wright, Aaron Evans going to round out your row 4. Kynan Jones and Vidal Fabian going to round out your top 10.
Pedro Martucci and Brandon Trisco is going to take the route 8. Row 6, excuse me. Row 7 is going to be Macintosh, Ryan Rodenbaum. Row 8, we are going to have Jake Scarborough and Will Hunt. Row 9 is going to be Adam Tall and John Brassard. Row 10 is going to be Terrell Farrell and Derek Farr. Brendan Reed and James Johnson is going to be on your row 11. Row 12 is going to be Gabe Casola and then Natanian Ferrada. Jeff Farlow, Logan Mansour, row number 13, and run up in the last position is going to be Gilberto Javier Camara. Pretty much got the last 3 rows. Yeah, the last 3 rows, pretty much the guys that weren't able to get a qualifying time. So they're going to come back from the back.
Get the lights off on the pace truck, which means we'll be going green this time. You see that 54 and that 17 Toyota front row for the start of this race. Obviously, really good laps from that Rich and Isabella machine. And you see a Ford Toyota front second row. But out of 4, we are green here at Bristol.
Right away, we have a lot of skirmishes right here. 3 wide about over here by the number 48 and 1989.
Yeah, side by side. Looks like for that P4, P5 position. To the 48 looking.
See already
53.
Yeah, we see already a lot of cars going under the top lane. And we have a caution.
Like maybe the 71 of Taylor having some issues, maybe?
Yes.
Take a look.
Oh, 3 wide.
We'll maybe look at what we see here. Take a look at the Velocity TV replay. Yep, you see the 71 trying to look top of 3. You see the 34. Oh man, just maybe got spooked by being 3. Came up into the 71. Decent. See the 24 come in there and hit him on that left front, but honestly, you know, you got a little bit of rear end damage. Could be worse for that 71, but caution will wave here on lap 5 now of 150 here at Bristol.
Yeah, and you see that this is gonna be hopefully not, it's gonna be the problem, but yeah, we already have lap 5, we have our first caution. People are being aggressive, other people are not gonna be super aggressive, they're gonna get feared by those 3 wide, and pretty much that made the first incident of the race, and it was pretty much a car going tight between 2 cars sandwiched, and pretty much made a big problem. 24 and the number 71 already. 24 is already on pit lane, fixing that damage. So yeah, we'll see how it happens.
You see the 71 of Taylor Gerald, you know, trying to do the best to fix this damage. I obviously no fast repairs for these drivers, and if you know you're new to the sim or new to just watching iRacing in general, you know these drivers, you know, in some cases have a thing called a fast repair that they can use, where basically you come in and you can get a brand new car. It's basically like having a backup car that you can pull out during the race. Obviously not realistic for, you know, IRL standards, but obviously it's a sim, and it's something that is nice to have in your back pocket, of course. So you're seeing some of those drivers trying to get that damage fixed, as we do not have a fast repair. So, as we see the lights off on that pace truck, we'll take a ahead and look at your race weather. Obviously, you can see pretty foggy out here. 68 degrees with some wind, and you see mostly cloudy out tonight. So, visibility, something you're going to have to talk about later in this race, because obviously you see on the broadcast, even some of these cameras having a little bit of time picking up some of these cars, but you're going to see this pace truck take a hard left, and once again, Toyota front row, Chevy Ford on that second row, and we're green once again at Bristol.
54 got a very good start right there. And oh, we have the 88 on the wall, almost clipping at 48. Everybody's gonna pass by, but yeah, what an eventful race start right here.
And Santiago trying to rip the walls. Oh, you see someone in the wall in front here. That's the 53. Bryson Bird getting into the outside wall. Really close contact between him and the 65 and Noah Brown. They keep it together. And the 88 wants to get in the wall, so you're starting to see some people already trying to push the car a little bit harder than they probably want to. Lap 10 of 150. We still got a long ways to go, boys. But you see Santiago under attack from the 89 of Jamie Wright. Jamie's going to make that pass. You see a caution and once out again.
Oh, yeah, big crash on the turn one. Oh, we have the 24 once again. The 71 pretty much already from the first crash. And we have Brendan Reed on the number 57 as well. Wow.
See the 57. A little bit out of control. And wow, so this is way ahead of this 57 machine. We'll take a look at your 8 machine. Looks like he was a big part of this wreck. And oh wow, see the 24. I don't know if he pushed tight. Thought he was clear. Oh, it was the 8 who got tight off the wall. Got tight off the wall. Got tight off the wall. Comes down into the 24. Nowhere to go for that 24 machine of Joe Farlow. And we talked about this earlier. Sometimes nowhere to go for some people at Bristol. You see the 57. He's going to come in here and pile in. See the 71 going to launch that 57 up in the air. There's nowhere to go for some of these drivers.
And the number 16 of James Johnston pretty much clean and clear. Passing by that wreck. Wow.
Lucky that Johnson got out as clean as he did. Good for him, get down to the apron as soon as he could to, get out of the way, get away from that wreck. So good for him to keep that car clean. I mean, I feel like that's going to be a big talking point, is just keeping your car clean, and it's going to be an attrition race here at Bristol. We're already seeing it. Some people having issues with the set, having issues with the way the car handles, and undoubtedly, right? This Xfinity car isn't easy to drive really anywhere. And granted, Bristol's not an easy track really in any car you go to. Now you're putting these, big boaty Xfinity cars where you can really spin the tires on exit. You're going to see this probably throughout the whole race.
And not only they have to fight the car, they're going to have to fight the racetrack and the other drivers. So, yeah, possibly that's pretty much what we're seeing right now. Like, recently, the number 8 pretty much wrecked the... touched the wall and pretty much made a big crash. So yeah, we're gonna see that a lot of times.
So I was 4 cars pit side from that damage. 71, 57, 24, and 8. Obviously, we saw extensive damage to all those cars, so they will be going laps down right now. The first of those lap cars is the 71 of Taylor, currently 3 laps down. But once again, that pace truck gonna take a hard left turn. Once again, Toyota front row into the Geico restart zone. We're green once again.
And the 17 got a very good restart right here. We're going to have a 5-4 lead.
Side by side going into 3 and 4. 17 using the top. Going to have the momentum. Going to maybe try to clear this 54, and he does. He's going to take the lead for the first time here at Bristol.
Great pass by number 17 of Cameron Rich. What a way to pass the number 54 of Vincent.
See Bryson Bird getting passed on the outside, kind of getting used up on that top line, and that's something that's you're going to see a lot here. Is you're going to see a lot of guys go up to the wall and kind of force some of these guys to kind of give up the spots. We all know that at least in these Xfinity cars, the bottom is probably not the fastest, but it will save tires. So regardless of if you want to go up there and run the top like that 53 finally gets to, if you get kind of
And we
turned
have
on the
fight for
top,
the lead again.
you can cautions out once again.
Yes.
Big one again.
Oh.
Takes Scarborough and involved.
Scarborough and Jones, 85 and 77.
Take a look. Saw Jake involved in here. We'll see if he can show us what happened. Jake, your league owner, puts a lot of time and effort into this league. So, once again, kind of same thing. 13 gets loose. Looks like he gets loose this time versus pushes tight. Gets loose, kind of walks it down the track a little bit. And he's going to tag the right rear of the 77. Yeah, it just looks like you just a little bit too much gas on exit. And they come up and hook the 77 to the outside wall. And here comes the rest of the field. You see the 77 on the brakes trying to keep everybody as safe as possible. But it's hard to do when at Bristol, not really nowhere to go. You see him get the 85. But besides that, looks like everybody else gets around. Gets away pretty cleanly, gets down onto the apron, and can get around this wreck.
Yeah, I see that number 13. Like, yeah, once that car is sideways, like you have to lift that throttle. Like you have to not brake, but lift that throttle and try to hold that car. The moment that you're pretty much using the throttle, that car is gonna go away, and that's what happened. And Jake Scarborough was pretty much an innocent bystander, as well as the number 85. Very, very disappointing for him, as well as Kyle Jones on the 85. But yeah, pretty much the number 13 of Runabout is gonna be e-oiled at this point.
Yeah, not surprised. And it was obviously not his intention. Just got loose out of the corner and kind of spun it out here. And it's going to continue.
And
to
that's
happen.
what I talk. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. Patience, patience is about. Wait a second. The number 17, our race leader. What happened with him?
Take a look, see what happened. I mean, he spun out. It's like under yellow. We're gonna get ready to go green here, so we don't really have a lot of time to analyze what happened. He's just sitting here on the track. Did he blow his engine? Did he money shift?
I have no idea. He just pulled out and stayed over there.
Well, I hope everything's okay with that side of things. But we're back green here at Bristol. 54 is going to take the lead over. Now Noah Brown in that 65.
Vincent now has another contender for another rival for that lead change, but right now the one that was always fighting with him pretty much is gone off the race.
Yeah, pretty docile start compared to what we've seen before. We have kind of a 4-car breakaway, and then Bryson Bird back there in 5th place. And it's starting to get swarmed up. You see the 47 now moving up to that P5 spot. Once again, we talk about Bryson kind of wanting to run the bottom, and now you see a lot of cars trying to be aggressive to get around him. You see Ty McIntosh now getting around him on the top in that number 45 machine. I mean, Bryson started in P3 on that restart all the way back to now the P8 in the matter of a couple laps.
Brett Bennett is going to keep that position number 5 from the number 88 of Santiago Aguirre. Santiago is so far touching the wall every single corner. I don't know if it's connection issues or something, but so far he's been putting that car in the wall. Hopefully he's not taking that right front pretty hardly, because damage is gonna take apart that car.
Yeah, and that's the thing you have to think about is how far do you want to push this car, especially this early in the run or this early in the race, right? Obviously, the closer you get to the wall, the better exit you get on the exit of the corner here. But you overstep it just a little bit. We've seen it a couple times now where he's getting into the wall on entry, even through the center, and even on exit. We've seen him basically hit the wall on every aspect of how you take a corner here at Bristol. And yeah, the more damage you give to your car, the worse it's going to drive. And now you're already starting to see the 45 of Ty trying to take a peek. But now Ty having to play a little bit of defense is Gabe, that number 18 machine, trying to maybe make a move underneath this 45 machine.
And we have a fight for the number 3rd position. Jamie Wright and the number 89 of Jamie Wright and Aaron Evans on the number 48. Try to pick on the bottom. Let's see if the number 89 can go ahead and make the pass. Nope. 48 made a good defense right there.
And 89, Jamie's going to try the top now, going to get a run off the corner. Trying to get side by side, going into 3 and 4. Stay side by side. That run off the top, going to continue to prevail. And now this is your closest battle on track is for this P3 position. Now we see Ty actually under attack. Actually putting the attack on the 88. He's going to make that pass work. And Santiago moves back to the P7 position. I think maybe that car just is not driving the way he wants to. I mean, we don't see a lot of, actual damage to that car, but you hit that wall enough, and it's going to start to make that handling worse, especially if you're in the top like that.
And if you're keeping up, touching that wall, I'm pretty much keeping using that top lane and just trying to move the fastest you want. Sometimes it's not going to work, and pretty much that car is going to start like losing their tires, and we have a contact with the 88 and the 18. Oh, they saved it though.
What a save by the 18. I mean, the 88 is just not driving how he wants to, and saw him hit the ball, had to kind of yank it off the wall, and that's a big thing with the sim, is that when you grab the wall here at Bristol, it kind of pulls you in, and it's hard to get off of it. And you saw him kind of yank that wheel off and make contact with the 18. Good save by Gabe in that number 18 machine, but I mean, you're going to see this 88, I think, continue to lose spots. You see the 09 now going around them of Athenian, and yeah, I don't know if maybe he's got some wheel damage or if you just can't really get a feeling for what the car wants to do here, but you see him, I mean, he started up there, I mean, and in 5th place, now all the way back down to the last spot in the top 10.
And you're gonna feel the frustration that's gonna have Santiago right here, because right now he started 5th, he was pretty much in the top places, and now he's about to lose the top 10. He's gonna pretty much going backwards. So if this run right now, we're seeing a possibly long run, green flag long run. So possibly, hopefully, he doesn't lose the lap in this run.
You're starting to see this 51 even start to run down this 88 machine. Fidel looks like running a little bit quicker laps right now. He's ran a 15.666 to a 15.714 of that 88, so about a 1/10 of a lap quicker. You see him already trying to make him put his nose down there to show the 88 that I want to try to pass you. I'm going to at least try to battle you for this position, and I could see this, not being too hard for this 51. I mean, as you see, the 88 actually doing a pretty decent job running the top now. You see Fidel continue doing the bottom. He's being pretty cordial, giving that 88 as much track as he needs. I feel like 51 could, use up a little bit more track to make this pass a little bit easier on himself, but trying to be cordial. Obviously, we've seen the 88 have some handling issues, and obviously, something we haven't talked about for this race, but all these guys, have raced with each other in some capacity for, up to 10 years. So obviously everybody's going to be pretty respectful of each other and make sure that, they don't try to put anybody in any bad positions. But you do see the 51 finally make the pass on that 88. As you see Ty now trying to move up through the field. He makes the pass on Aaron Evans of that 48. Aaron's starting to maybe drop off from that lead pack. You see him, and you see Ty trying to run down now that 47 of Brett Bennett.
And you can see right here, finally we got a long ring flag run, and we're gonna see a lot of the guys actually saving tires, and the ones that were pretty much on the top, using that top as a way to keep those positions, are losing pretty much a lot of round. We saw it with the 88. We're pretty much seeing it right now with the 48 possibly, and right here, Masinoch on the number 45. He is saving tires and pretty much going forward.
Yeah, up 8 positions from where he started. So obviously, I talked about it when he was qualifying. Probably not the lap he wanted. You know, I feel like he's up here for the most part, always in this top 5, in a battle for, you know, a good position. And I saw him, you know, qualify 13th. I was like, ooh, probably not the lap he wanted. Probably would like to take that one back. But obviously, I know that Ty is going to be good on the long run. You know, funny enough, he was in my Coke 600 and finished 1 spot ahead of me in that 4th place position. And he was one of those guys who was really concerned about saving the tires, keeping that car underneath them, and was good on the long run. And now you're starting to see that show here at Bristol, as you start to see him run down this 47 of Brett Bennett.
And pretty much the one loser right here is Jamie Wright. He was 3rd, and he lost 2 positions. Like, we're seeing a lot of guys pretty much having some issues with their setups and pretty much not losing their tires.
Well, it's super easy to, you know, burn the tires off here in the Xfinity car, and I mean, you'll see it, right? I mean, we've seen it before, whether it's getting into the gas too soon and getting that car loose, or, you know, getting in it, you know, trying to push the car on entry, and it just, if you put the car up on entry like that, it's going to completely destroy the guy in front of us. Caution is out.
Yeah, I don't know what it's for. We're trying to check for any cars. I saw that, yeah, the 60. Wilson Hunt.
We can find that 60 machine. Take a look at what happened to this number. Well, it's 86 in the sim, but you see 60 on the track. Oh man. Once again. I wouldn't say the 60. Oh man, that's just hard racing, it looks like.
27. Yep.
I
Hey, we can go ahead and check. So,
mean, you see
coming
the 60,
out of the 4.
he's not really running the top like I think that 27 expects him to. I mean, he's almost a lane off the wall there. I really think that 27 expected him to Derek to be a little bit closer. Oh man, the 16 comes in there. Had a good avoidance that last time. Not gonna happen this time. You see him knock their left front off that 60 machine, and yeah, that's gonna be a caution every time a car stopped up on the top. And unfortunate for that 60 machine. It looks like hard racing. We're going to see drivers potentially trying to come down pit road here. See one driver staying out. That is the 55 of John Brazzard. But everybody else, you see that 54, who was your race leader, going to win that race off pit road and take that P2 position. Noah Brown in the 65. Brett Bennett. Ty, getting around out your top 5.
We're gonna see pretty much a brand new race over here with brand new tires, of course. We'll see how these guys do with the 54 of B7 Isabella and the number 65 of Noah Brown. But I'm watching Mr. Ty Maxinoch on the 45. That car, it seems to be very fast on long green flag runs.
And McIntosh looks really good on the long run. See him willing to give up some spots during the short run, but his caution as the lights go back on the pace car. So we're getting ready to go green, but that's Ty. Has been willing to give up spots on the short run to, you know, have that long run speed, and I think that's what he's expecting is going to happen. And, you know, he's kind of setting this car up to run long. So If we
And
do,
possibly number 55 has stayed out or took two. We'll see because he wasn't on the lead and he's gonna be on the lead at this restart. So different strategies right here.
John
They're gonna
has
work possibly, then maybe not.
yeah, John has 42 laps on since he's been in the pit, so definitely stayed out. I think maybe came in during one of those cautions. Thinks the tires are fine enough, but now we're gonna have a Chevy Toyota front row, Ford Toyota second row, and the 55 is gonna lead us back to green.
Yeah, and the number 55 got a very good restart right here. So, but we'll see how those tires. Yeah, you can see the 54 is passing by easily. Those tires are gonna be something to talk about. Like you have to get some
I'm
new
gonna
tires or save those tires.
We're gonna keep an eye on this 55 because I mean you can see how much slower this could potentially be where we see a caution. Because I mean these guys are obviously very quicker. Oh, some contact.
No, and yes, we have the number 18, and oh,
Yeah, cautions out
wow.
here. I don't think that move by that 55 is gonna be looked very highly on from the driver's perspective. I mean, this really is what happens every time you see a guy with significantly older tires. Is he's gonna hold up the field and Um, really, that wasn't really the 55's fault at all, but I guarantee you this 18 car might try to put some blame on the 55, but looks like the 18 just got loose on his own, trying to pedal it around the 55, saw that they were three wide, gets loose on his own, comes down the track, he gets the 89, and nowhere to go for the 55. Looks like that's the, oh wait, the 51, maybe a little bit of contact, and yeah, that's probably race over for that 18 machine.
But what you see about cars that are staying out, like you know that this car right in front of you is slow, but yeah, sometimes you have to realize that we're pretty much lap 66. We have 150 laps. I'm pretty sure in one lap you can pass that 55. So yeah, like possibly it was on the 55, but also the other guys that have much better tires, you can pass the 55 on the outside. The number 45 of in one lap, the number 45 was pretty much behind the 55 and the 89, and he made a pass, waited and made a pass on the outside. So yeah, maybe you need to go ahead and be more patient, trying to pass these slower cars.
You see the 16 of James Johnston getting a lucky dog. I think that'll put him back on the lead lap. So probably what he wanted to see. Only right now, 14 cars on the lead lap after these cautions have come out. But obviously you see the 54 back in the lead, and we're actually, while we get the opportunity to, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. Let our friends and partners over at iRacing tell them about their products.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We're back live here at Bristol. Had to take a quick commercial break for a technical difficulty, but we already saw the caution back out for the 84, I believe. We can take a look, see if we got back into the session before. Yes, we did. Ooh, maybe a little bit of netcode. Not sure. It's hard to tell. Go back and take a look. The 48 obviously is loose, kind of walking it up the track, but you also see the 84 kind of coming down. Definitely no contact made, but it could be a thing of the 84 getting loose on his own, but it's hard to call. But that will bring out the caution. 54 is still out front.
At this point, this is Isabella's race to lose. Like, we're already past the halfway mark, and the 54 is pretty much leading this race as a whole. As far as we don't see, we see another green flag run, we possibly gonna be able to see a fight for the lead. But yeah, like the number 54 is race to lose right here.
I definitely agree that Vincent has showed that he has the best car from the drop of the green flag, really. So qualified on pole and has led most of the laps here, so I think the only person who was challenging for him is disconnected from the race, so which is unfortunate. No, he actually is back in the race, Cameron Rich, in at 17, but he is 5 laps down, so I don't know. Hopefully everything's okay over in the Rich household. Looks like he is back on the track, which is good to see, but once again, lights are off on the pace truck. Gonna take that hard right turn off on the pit road, left turn off on the pit road, and wow, huge jump by the 54.
And like I said, once I saw the 54 going to the top, I see the number 45 outside my notch, and we saw him very good racing the long run, saving his tires and going all the way to the top of the list, all the way to the top 5. And possibly we're going to see a fight for the lead and the second rival for VC Isabella. We'll see.
And Santiago in 88 back up to P3. Decent recovery. Maybe got some damage fixed, whatever. Made some changes to the car. Now it looks a little bit more racy than it did before. Does he keep that car out of the wall? See Ty actually get up into the wall there. But yeah, I think Ty needs to focus on this long run pace. Obviously he has a track position. Probably wants to keep it, but if he really wants to keep that long run pace, he's got to not push the car, right? You have the 88 all over your rear end, trying to make it move. If I were you, if you don't want to push that hard, just let him go, right? I mean, you already see the 88 pushing his car pretty hard up into the wall.
Yeah, he got into the wall. Wow.
Just let him go, right? Because now he's going to push up. Caution's out once again. It's like the 27 maybe having an issue. They could look back. See the 27. It looks like loose off a 4. Loose off a 2, my apologies. Spins it out.
Yeah.
And no harm, no foul, I guess, when it comes to taking in anybody else with them. But yeah, that's going to be a caution every single time. So caution will be out once again on lap 82.
But we're gonna see right here, like, you're gonna feel that Ty is gonna be frustrated. He thinks that he's able to pass the number 54 at Vincent, but we'll see. Right now, he was pretty much being pressured by the 88 of Santiago Aguirre and pretty much got into the wall, and I'm pretty sure he was killing his tires. So I would say yes, you need to get that type of patient trying to save your tires. But in the same way, you have that possibility that we have right now. All the laps are gonna go down with the yellow flags. So you have either two choices: go for it, or pretty much like save your tires.
You saw Kim and Rich right there get the lucky dog back down to 4 laps down. So I mean, this is exactly what Cayman wants right now. He's the only car, you know, that is less than 10 laps down. So if we get a caution and he's not involved in it, he will continue to get waved around the track to get back on the lead lap. So I guess he's probably the only person who wants to see these cautions. But we did not get to do our race picks before the race. So something we do here on HVTV is I think we heard someone blow their engine in the pits, but we will pick our favorites to win this race. So I'll let you go first, Andres. Who's your pick to win here at the last Great Coliseum?
Well, we have Vincent over here pretty much destroying the field, but we'll see what Ty McKinnock is pretty much doing. Recently, he was pretty much pressured by the number 88 and pretty much got into the wall, but I don't know, maybe if he gets a very good long run and be able to be patient right next round, this is my favorite to win. But Visa Isabella, well, that's an easy pick.
And once again, you see the 54. Once again, good jump on him. And you see the 65, Noah Brown, going around the 88 already. So Noah going to be aggressive on this restart, get up to that P2 position. You see Ty jump back down to the P4 spot. And this is a good spot for him to be in to kind of pace himself. Battle for the P7 position. See the 51 Fidel underneath Kine and Jones in that number 85 machine. Side by side. 85 is going to get the run off the corner, though. And they keep that spot.
Oh, we have the number 88 and the number 45 on the wall. Both of them trying to run on the number 65 on Noah. Yeah, they're pretty much trying to go for it at this point. But yeah, possibly this is not going to be the idea. Especially thinking that this is going to be possibly it's going to be a long run again.
80 wants it against on the wall. You might see the 45 try to get up. He does. Oh man, that's classic slider right there.
And I thought he was going to get.
Oh, he gets the 65. What a save by Noah Brown in the 65. I don't think that's what the 45 wanted to do, but good for him. Good for everybody to let him save that car, right? So they're going to continue the race hard here for this P3 position.
Third, yes.
See the 45 get around.
And you can see Noah Brown pretty much trying to hold his car. I don't know if that's made some pretty much damage. I don't think so. But yeah, I see his car like I see him like not very comfortable with his car.
Oh, the 48 slow. Oh, contact with the 85.
Wow.
What lots of hard racing going on outside the top 10 here. Good save by the 85 of Kine and Jones, and everybody's elbows out here with a little over 50 to go here left in the race. Santiago now having to hold off the 45. Underneath. Battle for now the P4 position is once again Noah Brown trying to hold off the rest of the field here. Probably has the tires a little upset from kind of getting run over by the 45. Contact. 47 gonna look underneath once again. 65.
Oh, he got a little bit tight and he's gonna put the 65 almost in the wall.
Yeah, used him up a little bit, as they say. 65 is gonna drop back to the P5 position. Not happy with probably the way he's getting raced right now. Obviously, we know he's probably at a little bit of a tire disadvantage after having to make that amazing save, but Probably getting used up by the 47 is not what he expected to happen right there. Once again, tight again. Here comes the 53. Bryson Bird going to make this pass.
Yeah, and you can see the 55 on Abraham pretty much it started going backwards. So hopefully he doesn't get so much frustrated and try to push his car harder, because that's gonna kill his tires.
Brett Bennett gets around the 88, and Santiago's going to start to fall back through the field. If we have a green-white checkered, maybe Santiago's your pick to win, but if we go more than probably, you know what, 5-10 laps, you start to see him start to really fall off the pace here. I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is just what he's comfortable with, but he's only really ran the top all race, and just not what he probably wants to have out of this car.
Yes, and Noah Brown getting pretty much an attack, and again by the number 51 of Fidel Fabian. Let's see if Fidel is able to go ahead and pass him out here out of 4.
Now we've seen Fidel
Side.
be pretty cordial about making moves. We saw how much room he gave to the 88 before. 88 again in the wall in front here.
Yes, we saw that, and it's gonna get in front of Noah Brown. I don't know if it's Noah Brown is gonna get a little bit frustrated with that.
And then I think this 51 might get a 2-for-1. He
3-1.
will. What a move for the 51. Now going to be side by side with the 65 once again. Probably doing some pretty good defensive driving to try to keep this 51. Oh, sideways!
Lose.
Wow. I mean, that 65 is out of control. You can see the 51 finally get around. I mean, 65 just kind of, I think he needs to find the pace and kind of find where he needs to run. He needs a caution, but needs to also keep that car underneath him. So right now, Noah back down to the P7 position.
Oh no, the number 85! Caution!
Tynan Jones around. Turn 3.
Wow.
Oh man. Once again, contact from the outside car.
And this time was the number 16 of Jay Johnston.
Yeah, once again, it just looked like 2 guys going for the same. We'll see into 76, nowhere to go. And, yeah. I think that 76 took the blunt of that damage, unfortunately. Get 85, just trying to keep it up there on the wall. Until it's safe to drop back down. And he's going to go a lap down doing that. So that's really selfless of him to make sure everybody gets around in the safe manner before he comes back down to try to fix this car. Because, I mean, he put himself a lap down just to do that. So, hats off to Kynan for doing that. He didn't have to do that, and went out of his way to do it. So, well, now you see...
And Derek Farr, in that moment, he was almost clipping the number 85 of Jones. Wow.
Your leader's down pit road. But that 54 has to be careful. And obviously, I think that pace car will go around him.
And Cameron Rich possibly is gonna get... No. He's gonna go ahead and do a wave around, possibly.
Obviously, we're going to see everybody most likely take 4 tires. So, I think that the 45 might have beat him out. And he does.
What a good pit stop by the number 45 team. Wow.
Yeah, 14-second stop versus a 15-second stop for that number 45. So, I mean, really, really, really good jump for that 45. A second faster in the pit lane. And altogether, from entry to exit, a 52.2 to a 51.7. So, almost half a second quicker in pit lane. And that will get you the lead every time. Looks like it's giving the spot back to the 54, though. So we
Yeah.
oh, we'll see. I think maybe the No, I'm not sure. I think
Possibly because possibly of well, we know this is iRacing and the lanes of the sim is possibly coming out of the first pit stall. Possibly.
yeah, it might be that it gave the 45 the lead, and he just wants the bottom. And you've seen the 54 pick the top every time, so
Yes.
we'll see. But obviously we'll see how this works out. Lights are still on the pace car. We'll go out this time though. We'll see. You know, once again, two Toyotas go at it at the lead. Now two Fords pick up that second row, and a Ford and a Toyota round out that row 3 and top 6. So 2 manufacturers make up the Fast 4, and you'll see your first Chevy back there in that P5 position. Pace car's going to take that hard left turn, and we're green once again. I think the 54 had a good jump. I can't imagine that the 45 is the leader here. 54 is going to clear. Good jump for the 54. Once again, side by side for P3. Bryson Bird under attack by the 47.
Oh no, the 45 loose. Crash.
Everybody manages to save it, but that's definitely what Kai did not want to happen on this restart. Now it's swallowed up by, you know, the top 5, and allowed that 47 of Brett Bennett to get around.
Yeah, he got loose coming out of 4, possibly, and pretty much that put a whole freaking
Gosh, him
damage
out.
on his car.
84, that is Brandon Crisco around once again. Take a look and see if we can find what happened to this driver here. Looks like he's gonna get loose out of the corner here. Oh man, loose into the corner. Just overdrove it. And the back end just steps around. And I was kind of off the racing surface. I'm surprised that iRacing called that, but here we are under caution once again. That 84 Looney Tunes machine. Go back to Jeff Gordon on that machine.
What a beautiful paint scheme that was.
Once again, we'll
But yeah,
go
the time.
There you go, Andres.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Ty McKinnon was pretty much right behind the number 54 of Vincent Isabella, and man, he was getting there until he pretty much like his car got loose out of pretty much. And yeah, it was coming out of 4. What a contact with the wall, and yeah, that pretty much gave him the position to the number 47 of Brett Bennett. Wow.
Yeah, so looking at our race picks right now, Andres, I mean, we have 2 of the top 3, so, you know, I picked Ty for the race, and obviously you picked number 54 of Isabella, which is honestly probably the better pick. I mean, it's hard to pick for someone who hasn't given up the lead. So, with 34 to go, I mean, we have the 2 of the top 3 here for favorites to win or race picks. Here brought to you by I've Lost the TV, and I mean, it's going to be dicey. I mean, we've seen the 47 up here really in the top 5 all race, and I think this is the first time he'll get to see the front row on a restart. Well, maybe he'll have something for this 54 machine.
Yeah, well, one of my favorites were pretty much racings. They almost were side by side, so yeah. Let's see how Brett Bennett can go here, like fight Vincent Isabella right now, because he is now pretty much destroying the field.
A lap sled for your race leader is going to be a little bit off, but 49 of the lap sled since we came back from the sim. I'm pretty sure he's led all but around 2 or 3 laps. So once again, green once again, go jump out of the 54. Brett Bennett now under attack from the 53 of Bryson Bird. We're going to get clear now side by side for Now that P3 and that P5 position. If that 45 is going to try to clear up, he will. Oh, into the wall though.
In the wall.
Bryson's going to go jump down to try to take advantage of that. I think that gave that 45 a little bit of rear end damage as well. Now side by side for the P3 position. 45 on the top, 54 on the bottom, and now to 88. Oh, it's going to hold to 53.
No.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Here comes the rest of the field. Obviously, we saw this one live, so we'll just do a quick little replay live here. And we saw, I mean, the 88 continuing to have issues out of the corner. Gonna pull it off the wall. Grab the 53. Nothing that Bryson did wrong here. Just really wrong place, wrong time. We've seen the 88 have issues all race with that car. And I think he does a pretty good job trying to keep the car stationary. But unfortunately, if you're coming out of 4 on the top, you just cannot turn down that much. And you see the 48 car of Aaron Evans come down. You see the 84 also of Brandon Crisco come down. Nowhere for some of these guys to go. You see a good job by the 16 though up here. Just basically trying to stop that car up on the track. He's going to get around it. But a lot of toy race cars in this crash.
Yeah, what unfortunate for Bryson Bird. He was getting a good run right there, and well, that's gonna happen. People are gonna try to go ahead, and like we're getting closer and closer to the race finish, and yeah, nothing to do right there. Especially also for Aaron Evans. Wow, what a hit! Pretty much his car is done. So yeah.
Yeah, Aaron Evans probably that's race ending damage. He was already laps down, but now down to 7 laps down, sitting in pit road. I mean, unfortunate. I mean, the wrong place, wrong time. So now we're down to 11 cars on the lead lap. Santiago obviously involved in that wreck. Last car. Bryson Bird still on the lead lap. And honestly, could be worse. I mean, you definitely see some pretty decent damage. You're going to see Bryson. I think he's going to park it for the night. That's unfortunate. So now...
Yeah, his car was pretty much flying around. Wow.
So going through the field now, we'll have 10 cars on the lead lap. Santiago, D. James Johnston, quiet night for him. And that 9th place, Derek Farr, even more quiet day. I mean, he was one of the yellows, and now he's up here inside the top 10. I mean, continuing to talk about quiet days, the 34, we haven't talked about him all race. He's up here in the P7 position. John Brassard led a couple laps. Up here in the P6 position. P5, Fidel. P4 of Noah Brown. P3 of Ty. P2 of Brett. And obviously the race leader who's led most of all these laps. Going to lead us back to green.
Once again, was a very good jump by the number 54.
54 going to get away, but now that battle for the P2 as the 47 under attack by the 65 and Noah Brown. As they all going to try to go up there and run the wall. See everybody up there running the wall. See Fidel getting around the 55. Take over that P5 position. Now with 24 to go, I really feel like, I mean, if you're going to push, you got to go now. You see Brett trying to run down your race leader. As we'll see what he can do here.
Yeah, he's just trying to use the bottom as well as the middle lane. He's trying to go ahead, like maybe low down a little bit more earlier to get a much better run. But yeah, a little bit loose coming out of 2.
You see the 47 trying to run a little bit lower, as you said. Trying to make something work. But obviously the 54 is has done a good job all race. Really running the top. Using the momentum to get away on the straights. But I do think this will burn the tires off more. So I feel like if the 47's patient, he's going to get a shot to run down this race leader if the leader continues to run the wall here. And you see him just an arm's length reach away from, battling from this lead.
Meanwhile, the number 65 of Noah Brown is getting attacked by the number 45 of Ty McKinnon.
Ty also going down there on the bottom, trying to have to do something different to get around. Maybe get up into that, at least into that podium spot to get a interview. Oh, the 65 is loose. Huge slide by the 65. 45 going to cross him over. I think 65, as you call, got his ankles broken right there by the 45. Tried to go up there, block the top. Got himself into the wall, actually. Now under attack by the 51. Fidel now trying to make a move for this P4 position.
Yeah, he was trying to pretty much pull a late block on the 45. 45 easily went ahead and just crossed him over. Almost put the 65 on Noah Brown on the wall. What a save once again by him.
65 gets the word for most impressive saves. Not even saves in a race, right? And unironically, always around the 45 machine. Obviously, we saw the 45 getting to the side of the 65 earlier this race. And saved that car. It took him all the way down to the apron, but saved it. And then you saw an amazing save out of 4 there. Trying to keep that car pointed the right direction. But now you start to see the 45 start to pull away from that P4 position, trying to run down your leader right now. Currently, your fastest car on the track is that P2 of the 47 of Brett Bennett. Last lap for the leader.
He's actually run up?
Yeah. They're actually starting to run down your leader. 52. Well, this last lap, 15.26 to a 15.22. They're just starting to barely just start to chunk away at this lead.
He's going to try to possibly try to get a good situation right here. Maybe save some more tires. There's 10 to go. Well, we'll see how it's going to go.
A 10 to go. It's go time for this number 47 to try to do anything he can to get out there. That time they match lap times to the 1,000th. 15.290 for both drivers. So maybe that 54 is starting to pick up the pace a little bit. Sees that 47 starting to close in on that rearview mirror. Starting to say, well, maybe I got to start to pick up the pace a little bit.
And Brett Bennett was pretty much the second on practice, so yeah, possibly this is gonna be something to tell.
You see Vincent a little bit quicker that lap. A 0.28 to a well, it was a 0.38. Now it's down to a 0.28 to a 0.26, so still matching lap time, and you see the 47 is there now.
Yeah, he's there. He's gonna try to get right side by side on with Vincent right here. He's gonna try to go ahead and like get that 54 steal on the top lane. The top lane is gonna be a steal prevail for coming out of with a run, but the 47 he's pretty much holding his tires. So that's the problem with Vincent right here, trying to hold him on breath. He might put himself in the wall, so we'll see.
That's the thing though, that top is so good at defending with 5 to go. I mean, Brett's got to do something to shake up this 54, try to get him to do something different. Maybe run the top with him, maybe get a little bit of a better exit. I don't think he's going to win the race passing him on the bottom. I think this 54 is way too good on the top to get around him with 4 to go. Now going to 3 to go. Here's actually, I mean, the pace is starting to slow down, but now I feel like the 47 is kind of running at the pace of the 54 versus the 47 trying to run down to 54.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Maybe if he goes to the top lane, try to follow the 54, get a much better exit of one corner, and maybe, just maybe, we're gonna see a bumper run. Who knows?
2 to go here at Bristol. Maybe you're gonna catch the lap traffic. That's Cameron Rich, I believe, in that 17 right in front of them. Now going to the white flag. White flag. 1 to go here at Bristol. Does this 47 have anything? Out of 2 and 3. And the 3 and 4, he's gonna try to drive it in, but it's not gonna be enough. And Vincent Isabella gonna win at Bristol. What a battle! What a fight for Brett to try to get there. It's not enough time. I feel like if there was a long run, to give him time to kind of chew on that lead, I think maybe he had a car. See Ty back there in the P3 spot, having some contact with the race winner. Fidel back there in the P4, and Noah Brown going to round out your top 5. We're going to see this 54 burn it down here.
What a way to go for Vincent Isabella. That was the race to lose, and he had to hold a good race car on Brett Bennett. So yeah, that was a very good race crash right there.
He had by far the best car, and he showed it, right? We saw some charges by Ty in the 54. We saw some charges by Brett at the end, but never could get around that 54 machine. But we're going to go ahead and get ready to talk to your top 3 after our word from, once again, our partners over at iRacing. We're going to get ready for post-race interviews and for our post-race show here on High Velocity TV. We'll be right back after our partners from iRacing. Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway here for the AWS Pro Series, as we're going to get ready for our post-race show as we talk to our top 3 finishers for tonight's race. And first, we're going to start off with that number 47 of Brett Bennett, of Ty, my apologies, who finished here in the P3 position. So let's see if we can find him in the Discord. Let's go ahead and talk to him. Hey Ty, it's Christian and Andreas up here in HVTV booth. Got a copy?
Gotcha, buddy.
Well, I'd say a pretty solid run for you. Obviously, we saw some bad luck out of you these last couple of weeks, it seems like. So coming out here with the P3, it looked like you might have had something if your luck went your way with a long run or something. But walk us through your race, walk us through that finish, and just walk us through what happened in your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like, the through ITV Toyota was pretty good. I felt like we had a pretty good long run speed. Qualifying wasn't really there, and I knew that wasn't going to be my strong suit. And we were able to just stay patient. Those first couple of yellows, I felt like I wasn't going to get much. I picked off maybe 1 or 2, and then we went green there for, I think, about 40 or 50. And I think I went from like 7th or 8th all the way up to 3rd or 4th. And then Vince was letting me know where he was going on the restart that one time, so that's how I was able to get to 2nd. Vince, he's been part-time. He's obviously helping out with an ARCA team, so he's pretty busy there. But Yeah, no, I mean, I felt like if we went a little longer, I probably would have been all right. I also tank slapped the the wall out of two, I think, one time, and it got the right front pretty good. So um I don't think I would have had anything for Vince or Brett, honestly, after the damage, but I would probably gave it everything I had.
Got anything from Andreas?
Oh well, I saw you pretty much running the on the long green flag run where we just had in the middle of the race. You were pretty much passing all the cars, and you were um, saving those tires very good. What happened through your mind when you were like pretty much in the front? Did you were try to go here, like try to save the tires, or like just go get them?
I mean, yeah, I think once we got to the point where there was like 40 or 50 to go, it went from like save the tire to push a little bit more, and then we got to like 20 or 30, and it was kind of I knew it was go time for what Vince was doing, and you definitely the wall's probably the quicker line, I think, but it's also the loosest, so I think that's what got me. That's why I got the wall pretty good. But the middle, I felt like my tire saving was pretty good on the middle groove there compared to everybody else on that long run.
Yeah, what could have been if we had a long run, and obviously, despite that right front damage, but still can't complain about a P3 finish. But before we let you go, anybody you want to thank for this podium finish? Any sponsors, friends or family watching home, or really anybody for coming up here in this podium spot?
I mean, I got a lot of people to thank. Through ITV, my main sponsor, I helped them with commentary for different leagues. So Carlos, buddy, appreciate you. Traders Brewing Company, everybody at Banks Designs, Weekend Woodsman, Jake for putting on the league, you guys for putting on the show, and Vince for being a hell of a teammate and somebody to lean on, and good work to him. Congrats. I'll have to talk to him in a little bit.
Always nice having a teammate, or at least just a friend to lean on that can come home, with you up here in the podium. But once again, we'll drag you back down to prepare for next week, and hopefully we can talk to you once again next week.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, thank you. That was the third place finisher, number 45 in that Toyota Supra, Ty McIntosh. And we'll go ahead and talk to almost there, 47 of Brett Bennett.
Screwed by the late.
Hey, Brett, it's Christian and Andreas up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yep, I'm here.
Well, what could have been. I felt like you might have had something for that 54, but it looks like maybe laps run out. But walk us through your race. Walk us through what was going through your head through that battle with the 54 there in the closing. 10, 15 laps.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't raced Vincent a lot, but I've talked to him a few times and never had an issue with him. I wanted to race him clean. I truly think I might have had the best car there on the long run. Like that early in the race when we got that like 40, 45 lap long run, I was running lap times that were 2 or 3 tenths faster than everybody at the end of that run. But he was able to run that top really consistently. And the problem is the bottom. I like the bottom because it took care of my tires a little better. And we were running pretty much the same lap times the whole time. And then I maybe should have moved up the track a lap or two earlier and tried to get a run on him, but it was just so hard to keep that pace up top compared to the bottom. And then he did a great job defending in that top. It just was going to be hard to make a pass without kind of racing dirty. I didn't want to race that way. I'll take P2. I ran top 5 all day. Probably my best race in the league in a long time. So can't complain.
Andreas?
Talking about, yeah, talking about like the situation when it happened on the restart. Where you trying to go ahead, like once you got into the second place, um, once you got in nearby Vincent right there. What was it on your mind trying to get closer and closer without either losing your cars, losing your tires, or not even trying to wreck Vincent? Like, do you try to go here, like maybe move a little bit on the middle, or no, I don't know, maybe get a caution, or maybe was a much more longer green flag run?
Yeah, what I really would have wanted was a longer green flag run. Like that caution that came out, like I got up to P2, and there was I think 2 cautions where I restarted second. If we had went green from the first restart, that extra 4 or 5 laps might have been enough. Um, really, my kind of thought was he's running the top. The top burns the tires a little bit more here, and also you tend to get looser and looser when you're on the top. The bottom especially takes care of the rears, which is kind of the right rear is what you were wearing the most today. So that was kind of my thought. Was just I just wanted to keep running the bottom, putting pressure on him, hope he made a mistake or hoped he burnt his tires, and he did a good job taking care of them. Like if I think maybe if we had 5 to 10 more laps, I might have had a shot at him. But end of the day, I'll take P2. Good points day. Hopefully running for the championship here. Might miss a couple more races just because of other life events, but still in good shape. Had I think a top 10 at Daytona, and now a second place here, and missed the other race. So good shape so far, and move on to the next race and keep trying to build the momentum.
And you kind of said it perfectly right there, Brett. Can't complain about a P2. Good points finish. Obviously missed Homestead, but yeah, I think this is a great track to build momentum at. It's a physical track. It's a hard track to race at for 150 laps. But I definitely think it's a good track to build momentum on for you in the point standings, and just to continue to put down these good finishes. But before I let you go, anybody you want to thank for this second place finish? Any friends, family, sponsors, or just anybody for coming up here in P2?
Yeah, I got to thank first of all my spotter tonight, Michael Kruger. Raced with him in a couple other leagues, and good friend of mine. Also, look, I'm terrible at names. Bryson Bird, teammate this year. He was in Chad, and he had a good race going. Got wrecked kind of late, unfortunately, but ended up 13th. But Enrique Cucalan, also my teammate in this league, and then everybody on SBLD and Circumference Ultimate Motorsports and a couple other leagues. Got a lot of friends who I race with. My main sponsor, Strictly Stats. Haven't got to shout them out in a while because I've been really good at wrecking in league races. So glad to finally be able to shout them out again. So in the day, great run. Look forward to being here next week. Also, thanks to Jake Scarborough for putting this league on. Really been enjoying it so far.
Well, like you said, a P2 finish. Hopefully you can build on this momentum, and yeah, we'll let you go to prepare for next week, and hopefully we can talk to you maybe up here in virtually next week. So hope you have a great rest of the night.
Good job.
And that was Brett Bennett and the 47 machine. And I guess it's time to talk to the man of the hour. Let's go ahead and talk to Vincent and Sabella. Hey Vincent, it's Christian and Trace up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, kind of the man of the hour, man of the day, man of the week, really. I mean, started on pole, really only gave up the lead due to, kind of pit strategy. But besides that, really never gave it up. Kind of seemed like the car to beat. So walk us through the race, walk us through that battle with that 47, and, what you thought was the upper hand to keep him behind you.
Honestly, it was just being smooth up top. I was getting really loose there at the end, kind of burnt my rears off. But it was kind of just keeping him at bay so he couldn't get that run. Don't make a mistake, don't hit the wall. Stay in front.
Well, in the start of the race, we actually had Cameron and Rich trying to, pretty much battle you in the start of the race. We don't know what happened with him. Hopefully everything is okay with him. But later in the race, we saw the 45 of your teammate pretty much Ty Matsinot, Matsintoch. I have so many problems with that saying that surname. Yeah, he was pretty much closing on you, and then he got loose, and then pretty much Brett Bennett in the last portion of the race, he almost ran you over. So, did you have any moment on the race that you actually thought you need to go ahead, like, all right, I need to go ahead, like, have a much better strategy. I need to set my tires. I need to go ahead and like, or maybe this race I'm gonna have it loose, or do you have always your control on the race?
Honestly, right there, after we pit on, like, I don't know, it was probably like 105. That was it. I wasn't going to pit again. I was just pedal to the metal as hard as I can go for 40 laps, 35 laps, whatever it was, and just stay out front. Get good restarts on the top there, which being the leader with this new restart zone is key. But yeah, I Probably should have saved a little bit, but it was kind of hard to. 47 was quick there at the end, and he was tough.
Yeah, he definitely
Indeed,
looked.
it was.
He definitely looked like he was gonna give you one for your money. And he even said maybe a couple more laps. He could have had a better opportunity to at least get to you a little bit closer. But before we let you go, is there anybody you want to shout out for this one? Any sponsors, friends, family, anybody you'd like to thank for this win here at Bristol?
Yeah, just my South Shore teammates and South Shore Racing. I know I was supposed to run full time. Got a job down in North Carolina with an ARCA team, and now my Fridays are pretty full, so try to show up when I can, and this is what happens. I'm just one of my favorite tracks, so I'm glad I could have. I'm glad I dominated this one, honestly.
Well, dominating is kind of a understatement when you lead basically every lap besides the pit strategy. But once again, congratulations on this win at Bristol, and hopefully we can talk to you next week, maybe in Victor Lane again.
Definitely won't be next week, but we'll see. One of these weeks coming up, we fly out on Thursday, so I won't be around.
Well, good luck on the ARCA with the season. Obviously, a lot of work going into there, but yeah, good luck. Good luck next week wherever ARCA is going. But yeah, hopefully we can talk to you in the booth, regardless, sometime down the future.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Yep. Thank you.
Good job.
And that was your race winner, Vincent Isabella. It's really cool to see. I mean, guys going out of their way to come in here and race in these leagues. I mean, with Vincent working in an ARCA team, obviously we know some people here in the booth and Drace who also works on ARCA team, and obviously really busy, and it's a lot of work, right? I mean, when you start in an ARCA, right, it's kind of you're trying to make something out of your career, whether it's working on the car, whether it's graphics, whether it's whatever it is, right? To try to get to a bigger opportunity. So, good luck to Isabella with his ARCA endeavors, and we wish for the best for him. But besides that, Andres, a pretty good race nonetheless, pretty solid, really good racing. Obviously, we're gonna have these cautions every time we come to Bristol. It's nothing unexpected, but regardless, we had some hard racing, we had some big wrecks, and we had a relatively decent battle for the win here.
Yes, we had, and actually we had a very good feeling of different type of strategies, different type of driving strategies in this case, because we have pit strategy, but also you have driving strategies. You have guys that were trying to move that top lane, try to get those positions, try to take. We have some people losing their cars. We have some people wrecking on the top. We have multiple cars ping pong, pretty much coming out of the wall and making crashes. And it wasn't only the cars on the back of the field. We have leaders wrecking right in front of us. So yeah, it was pretty much an action-packed, full Bristol, typical Bristol race. It was pretty much classic, and we had a very good battle for the finish. Brett Bennett tried to go ahead, like getting closer with Vincent Isabella, but Vincent was very much the car to beat, and he showed it.
A classic is kind of the definition of what this race is. We had some big wrecks, we had some good finishes, and we had some good battles. But once again, my name is Christian Delgado, and alongside me in the booth tonight, Andres Fares. So appreciate him for coming out. But also, Andres works for graphics designs with us. We shouted him out earlier for when we did our track facts. So make sure to go out there and look him up on Twitter. We're at Delta Eagle Designs or Delta Eagle Racing. We have his Twitter posted down below in the description down below. Also, if you're interested in becoming a part of the High Velocity TV family, if you're interested in broadcasting work, whether you have a league that wants broadcasted, whether it's just being a part of the Discord server and just being a part of this big community that we're trying to build, we do also have the Discord linked down in the description down below if you're watching on YouTube. Also, we do have the AWC Discord link down below if you're interested in racing here in the AWC Pro Series. Obviously, we saw some good racing here tonight at Bristol, but from here, from everybody here in the HVTV studios, we hope you have a great rest of the night. Once again, you were watching the AWC Cup Series here at Bristol Motor Speedway. So, hope everybody has a great rest of the night, and we will see you guys all soon. Good night, everybody.
Good night.